What's going on, everyone? This is Cadman Cycling. Welcome in. Welcome back to the channel. Here we go. Stage 3, Race Scotland. This is on the Muckle Yin route. It starts and ends in downtown Glasgow and makes its way around all of the Scotland roads. So we'll be going up and down the Breakaway Bray in both directions, which was part of the Rolling Highlands route, which was in stage 1 of Race Scotland. We'll end the race on the crit circuit, which was stage 2, and then we'll also make our way up the Skur climb in both the north and south directions. That hasn't been part of this Race Scotland series yet, but it's known as the Intestine, I believe, so it's a short, punchy climb. So we get to see everything today. This is Scotland's longest route. Looks like a really tough one, actually. So we're in Category C today. There's 69 total riders, just finishing up the lead-in here, starting the lap. 69 total riders. I've been off the bike the past couple days, actually kind of just getting over a cold. So this was a Thursday race. I had done 2 races this past Saturday, and then actually came down with a cold the next day. So I've been laying low for the most part. Actually, on Tuesday, I kind of jumped on the bike just to, even though I was still pretty sick, just to try to get the body moving somewhat, trying to fight off the cold, just for a few miles though, and didn't feel great. So today was kind of the first day I felt like I turned the corner and really wanted to jump back on Zwift. It's amazing how just a couple days away, you really start missing it, and you miss racing. It's really addicting. So here we go, over the cold now. Join the Cat C ride just because I wasn't exactly sure how I'd feel. This is an extremely punchy and tough route, so I knew I'd get dropped extremely quickly if I joined the B ride. So here we are with the C's. Went ahead and skipped forward. We're at 2x speed. So this is the start of this Skur climb. We come at it from both directions. This is the longer and steeper and harder direction. It's a gravel climb this way. I believe this is the north side, could be wrong there. But we hit it at that 8.5K mark, and we'll get to the top around 10K. Once we're at the top, we'll be at about 127 meters of climbing. So a decent group hit the bottom of that climb, but this is where I know it's really going to break apart. So leading up to this point, I was trying to sit in the back, draft as much as possible. But once we hit this route, or this climb, I really knew I wanted to stay on the front. Here we're hitting the steepest section. I think it got up to 13%, so I used that featherweight there. And I'm really staying on the front, making sure I'm always marking that first or second rider, just because I think it's very possible that we could have gone into this climb with 40 plus riders, but there might be a group of 3, 4, 5, who knows, maybe 10 riders that get to the top of this climb together, and they could be gone for the rest of the race. So I need to make sure that I'm in that group. So again, never really the person on the front trying to push the pace, but making sure I'm right there so I can respond to anything that's happening. And really pushing hard. So heart rate's up to 187. Kind of strange leading into it. A lot of times when I've been kind of getting over a cold before, the heart rate stayed low and hasn't gotten high, even when I was suffering. So the fact that my heart rate was getting up there, generally I try to avoid that early on in a race, but I was actually pretty happy because that kind of showed me that my body was recovered from the sickness. So heart rate's high, pushed extremely hard, made the top, and I kind of want to push over the top. So I'm looking at that mini map on the top right. There's maybe 5 or 6 of us here together. Another group of riders 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds behind, but everything's spread out. So I'm thinking if we continue pushing down this hill with this small pack that we've just created here, we might be able to create a gap, and this could be the selection of the race. So just 10K in, we could take this group of 69 starting C's and whittle it down to just the 5 of us. So we get to the bottom of that climb. It's the 5 of us, And at some point I put in the chat, I said, like, let's work hard or let's work together, something like that. I see we had 4 seconds. It's up to 5 now. I really want to push with this group to see what we can do. So I went ahead and skipped forward. That's exactly what we did. So looking on the right-hand side again, this gap is now up to 30 seconds. And we're again now hitting the Skur climb. This is in the opposite direction. So this pack was really pushing. I was trying to take some pulls on the front at the very start when we were first building the gap, but I got extremely tired. My heart rate was above 180, and we were pushing extremely hard. So I'm breathing really hard here, pretty much at my limit. As we can see, I'm kind of struggling, hanging over the bars, and this is the group of 5, and I can see the 4 all out in front of me. This one rider, Carey, he's from Herd. I recognize him from the Bullseye Points race. So he was the one guy I knew in the pack. I knew he's a strong rider. So I'm just trying to right now jump back on his wheel if I can. This climb is a little bit shorter in this direction. There's a pretty big gap, and here we get to the top of the climb. I know the downhill's coming, so I'm still putting in just these little sprint efforts, pretty much everything that I have left, trying to get back on this pack. I know it's kind of now or never, so I'm emptying the tank with everything I have left, and I'm just able to kind of jump on here to the point I'm trying to take a breath, super tuck for a second, and I'm back on the group. The problem is heart rate's kind of nearing 190 and has been there for quite a bit of this race, so I'm completely gassed. I kind of gave it everything I had left just to get back on this group. I thought I was kind of waving goodbye to them when we were going up that climb, but I was able to jump back on, and really now it's this downhill, and we'll make our way back into Glasgow. So I know in Glasgow we have one more uphill, and that's the Clyde Kickr. So I'll go ahead and put this on 3x fast forward just until we make our way over to the crit circuit. But we're over 30 minutes into this race, and without ruining kind of the complete end of this race, really this just goes to show how fast we were pushing around this group of 5. Is I actually set my 11 to 30 minute power PB in this race. So a lot of times when I've set PBs before, it's really just been 1 or 2 minutes at a time or within a range, just because you're kind of pushing for a set amount of time based on a course's features or how long that course is. The fact that I set a PB for a 20-minute span just shows kind of what the group was pushing to stay with them. So I'm completely gassed. Here we go. So on the crit circuit now, going up the Clyde Kickr, 2 off the front. I have this featherweight, and I know this is when I need to use it. At this point, I'm up on the pedals. I'm giving it everything I have over the top. I was able to hit about that 500 watt range, but a lot of these riders, I'm just watching them off into the distance. Got to take a sip of water, but I'm gassed. That's honestly everything I had. I keep trying to stand up, but I really have no more power left in the pedals. So I got an arrow at the top. I kind of realized that, again, I need to give it everything I have left. So I use that arrow trying to catch this last wheel of this 4th place rider. And I kind of do. I push it up the climb, trying to stay with him. I catch his wheel. So here we go. 1.2K left. But I'm completely dead. I'm over the bars again. He uses a featherweight, and I just don't have it. So we hit another little kicker here. Again, I'm trying to push. I feel like I'm putting in more effort, but nothing more than like 300 watts comes out, and then it goes right back down to 100. So I have nothing left. I'm gassed. The full effort of the race really came back to bite me. This was one of the, I don't know, most suffering races I've suffered most. Honestly felt like I was going to get sick on that last time down that climb when I was trying to catch back onto the group. I was able to recover for a few kilometers, but we hit that Clyde Kickr, and I just had nothing left. So that's what it is. So I'm rolling in 5th place. That group got away ahead of me. The group behind, we have 36 seconds on, which is 500 meters left. So stuck in no man's land. No sprint finish from me. Actually, the winner of this race didn't have a heart rate monitor, so I ended up getting 4th place on Zwift Power. And when checking the standings after the race, 3 of the top 4 riders in this race all got upgraded. So I was one of those riders. This is officially my last Cat C race. Unfortunately, not a win, and unfortunately didn't even make the sprint finish, but I put out my best 20-minute power ever, so up to Cat B from now on. Definitely gotta work to get better to be able to stay with that pack in those races. Those are some crazy strong riders, but it wasn't just me. It was 3 of the top 4 got upgraded to Cat B, and actually the 4th is now a Cat C almost B. So all of us probably set our 20-minute PBs for power. So really fun race. I wish I was able to stick in till the end, but those guys were just a little bit too strong. Nothing to be mad about. 3.1 watts per kg doesn't look crazy high, but I guess it was enough to be my 20-minute power. I pretty much confirmed I was over the cold considering the power I put out, so I'm happy with it. This is a step in the right direction. Like I said, I would have loved to win a C race before moving on to Cat B, but now I'm going to be riding with the big boys. I'm going to be at the back of the pack for now, but I got to start working my way up. Got to get stronger. And guys, having a lot of fun with this. Waving goodbye to Cat C, about to join Cat B. Hope to see some of you in those races, pulling me along. I'll be doing my best to hang with the pack. But guys, really enjoyed this one. Thanks for hanging in there. And until the next one, this is Cadman Cycling. I'll catch you then. Bye.